Alright, well hello and welcome to another edition of My Life in Japan. Well today, maybe you can guess what this is. This is a barbecue grill. Today we are having Yakiniku. Oh, they were getting a drink coming soon, I think, over here. どうぞ入っていいですよ。ありがとうございます。はい、
ちょっと火の方をつけさせていただきますね。最初にお肉の盛り合わせをお持ちしますので。
Now yakiniku, in the last video I mentioned briefly takoyaki, and again this yaki is just to cook something, so niku is meat, and then we have to cook meat, so yakiniku. So usually when you come to a yakiniku place, there's different varieties, but usually they'll have a tabe hodai, which is just all you can eat. So we have, we've got some beef and pork and chicken and some other sides things like salads and dessert, soup as well. And usually when you first start, they bring you a moriawase, which is just a collection of the usual things that they have. Most places they want you to start out with a certain kind of thing, and then you can choose whatever you want to order after that. So we're going to ask, one thing, I've talked about this before in videos, but when I was first learning Japanese, I would go out and I would practice the same thing over and over and over again at different places. So today, we'll practice Osusume wa nan desu ka? Now this is something I use casually and I can use it without thinking now, but again, it's just something I'll ask. So after he brings out the first, again, that moriawase, that collection of meat, we'll grill that up, we'll give that a try. And then we'll ask him what he recommends off of the menu for other things like that. So now before we get all of the niku ready, we got to prepare our sauces. Usually you've got lots of great things. We've got, let's see, over here. Get in there. This is the tare. So this is just a basic, you got some, it's kind of like a barbecue sauce, really. Each country, especially in America, it's quite different. It's a bit more tangy. Out here, the flavor is a little bit difficult to describe, but really, really delicious. Many places will have a sweeter variety of sauce, and then you also have kind of a spicier one, and then some other things to put down. So we get one of our little trays over here. Oh, it looks just the feel of the grill. I love the smell of that. So we've got this. Usually we've got some lemon. Yes, this is lemon. And some other things that you can put on the meat. Let's see what we got here. A little bit of black pepper, other seasoning that you can put on if you'd like to have more seasoning. Sometimes the meat, it will have seasoning on it already. It will have been marinated or soaked in some kind of seasoning, but a lot of it you'll see probably both kinds when they bring it over here. It will just be the regular meat, and then you can cook that and add whatever sauce you like. Now, a lot of places when you go to Japanese restaurants now, it's quite automated. So you can just push a button and the waiter or the waitress will come and deliver whatever it is you're asking for, or they'll take your order. And another thing that they have, especially at newer restaurants, it's kind of a little ordering computer kind of thing. So you can put the order in and then it sends everything back to the kitchen, and then they can make it and they bring it out for you. The service culture is quite different out here. You don't tip anything when you go to a Japanese restaurant. Usually that gratuity is already included, but the tipping culture is not out here. So you don't have to worry about, whatever your bill is, having to add anything on top of that. So we're all prepared, and now we're just waiting for the first round of meat to arrive.
これは鶏もも、豚バラ、ウインナーですね。はい。ご注文をお呼びの際はそちらの呼び鈴でお願いします。これは食べてからですか？食べる前のご注文されて大丈夫です。いいですか？はい。おすすめは何ですか？やっぱりこの黒毛和牛のトロカルビですね。こちらの3人前もお願いします。とりあえずそれ大丈夫。はい。
Alright, let's put some food on the grill. So we've got a little bit of chicken, some pork, some wieners, which are quite popular out here in Japan, sausage. We've got a green pepper as well. You'll get some vegetables as well as meat usually. This looks like some rosemary. I do believe it is. Maybe we can grill that up a little bit. And then we've got some pumpkin over here. Now this is something interesting I noticed when I came to Japan for the first time. They do celebrate Halloween over here. It's come from America, but they usually have the kind of smaller green pumpkins in Japan. So the pumpkins look a little bit different. So we'll get some vegetables on here because we want to have a nice healthy meal. Oh, and then we'll get some of this lovely meat. So as I mentioned before, this you can see is already marinated a little bit. This pork has just a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of seasoning on it. And the chicken as well, it's got kind of some onions. Now you have to be careful when you're cooking this stuff. The chicken will take quite a long time and you really want to make sure you cook it well. I went to a restaurant one time and I had tori sashimi. So tori is like bird or chicken, and sashimi is just like the regular fish. It's the raw meat without the rice under it. So if you've got sushi, usually that's the fish with the rice on it, but the sashimi is just the piece of fish by itself. So I ate some raw chicken. I had a whole bunch of raw chicken and my stomach was just messed up for like 3 days. It was awful. So we're just getting, you can see these pieces will cook. They'll cook quite quickly, especially when the fire gets going and we got a lot of the grease coming down there. Add some extra flavor. Alright, so we got some more food coming over here. We have a Caesar salad. Whoa, and some more beef. See how, oh no! Now you have to be careful about this. You don't want to get too much of this black part on here. You don't want to eat that. But the vegetables usually cook pretty quickly. We'll prepare some vegetables over here. Alright. Oh no! For my rosemary. So we've got our lovely chopsticks over here. And we're going to try, looks like I put all this in the lemon over here, which is okay, but we'll put some of this in the sauce, let it cool down a little bit. So I'm going to try the pork over here with a little bit of lemon. Oh. Umayo! Umayo! You watch this on TV a lot, there's the big umai, which is like, delicious. The basic word for delicious is just oishi, which is beautiful flavor. But umai is a much more kind of excited thing to say when you're eating some food. It's especially popular on TV. A lot of TV personalities, they use that. We're enjoying this. Oh, this is some beautiful beef from Japan. So the word for beef is gyu. So this is wagyu, and wa is just like talking about Japan. So Japanese beef, very delicious. So we're gonna order some more of it right now. Push my little button over here. Alright, ding dong. So let's see here. So we're gonna order this one up here. はい、お願いします。サラダも一つくださいと、この和牛トロカルビお願いします。シーザーサラダでいいですか？シーザーサラダと3人前の、はい、
焼肉ってあんまり向こうの方じゃないですか？
それはちょっとバーベキューです。だからもうタレとかもう味とかやり方とかよくはもう家の中はあまりやらないです。どっちも楽しいけど、これは普通はもうどこでもいつでもできるですね。いい感じでしょ。
美味しかったです。
いや、アメリカのバーベキューは食べたことある？
ないです。
ないですか？
庭とかでパーティーみたいな。聞いたことしかない。
As you're trying to practice your English, especially if you're living in an English-speaking country, but the more you can do that, the more you're going to not only practice your English, but meet other people that are interested in speaking with you. So, we're asking questions about him, and he starts asking questions about us, and what we're doing, and how long I've been in Japan, and what I'm doing out here. Have I been to any other Yakiniku restaurants? And there are lots of them out here. Lots of places maybe they'll specialize in their own particular kind of tare, that sauce. It's the same thing with barbecue in American places. So we were just talking about how in America, usually we don't sit around and have a kind of like grilling thing like this on the inside of the house. You would go out, barbecue is more of like a summertime thing or for nice weather when you can cook a lot of meat outside. These are looking very delicious though. Oh, I'm really getting full though. Oh. お願 願いします。デザートください。これも消していいですか？はい、消します。バニラアイスと柚子シャーベット。はい。So, like I said before, we've got the 3 different written characters. If you look at this up here, you can see the mixture. So these are the borrowed, like this is the kanji for kuro. So this is black. And you can see that this is like, there's a lot going on here, and it's actually a mix of a couple of different characters or radicals, which are the pieces of each individual kanji character. And then over here, this is the katakana. So this is usually for borrowed words that I mentioned before, like this is harami. So we'll move down here, and this is for the desato. So it's the same word for dessert, but they kind of change it into the Japanese phonetic of desato. And we've got only 2 different desserts here, and it's 1 per person. So vanilla ice and yuzu shabetto. So this is actually one of the kind of trickier things for me. When I was first learning Japanese, and even now, it's difficult for me to understand the katakana. And the reason that is because it's a borrowed word like sherbet or sorbet or a different word like that, and then they take it and then put it into that Japanese sound and then try to write it like this. So sometimes I'll hear a different word like karaoke, which becomes karaoke in English, and even that is kind of borrowed words from English as well. So it can be a little bit difficult to understand, but after you get the hang of it, you study it a little bit, it's pretty easy to figure out. So we're going to get our last little bit of dessert here, and also just wanted to show you, if you can kind of like show around the room here, a lot of traditional Japanese places, restaurants, you will have your own little space like this. It will be partitioned off. You can see on your right here we've got kind of some screen doors, and sometimes like, so this is usually made from like some rice paper, and you can see actually it's called washi, but here we go. Alright, so we've got some sorbet and some vanilla ice cream over here. And then underneath the table down here, you can see, get a little like reclining at the restaurant over here. Now a lot of people, you know, if they're drinking quite a bit, you know, they want to lay down and relax, but you can see the traditional style, the way a lot of people are having food in Japan. They're sitting on the floor on cushions, and then, you know, you've got a space where either you can put your feet down under the table, where you have a kotatsu style, and this basically just means like a heated table. So a lot of apartments in Japan and homes, they have really thin walls, so it's really difficult to keep them insulated and to keep the heat inside. So many people, they will have a cold room, or they will only have like an air conditioning unit or a heater in one room in their home, and then the rest of the time they're sitting underneath a table like this. So if you don't have like a recessed floor like this, then we just have a space where we're sitting kind of cross-legged like this, just underneath a regular table like that. And then you've got space underneath here where you would have kind of like a heated area. So again, just a regular table with a heater under it, and then you have a tabletop with a blanket over it, so it keeps the heat in there, and then you put another tabletop on top of that. So that's called a kotatsu table. And if you have a recessed floor like this is actually just a built-up floor. You can see there's another spot kind of down here, so when you walk in, you put your shoes over here, and then you can walk in and you can actually sit down. So it's got the atmosphere of like sitting on a floor, but you know, it gives you that you're sitting on the floor still, and it's much more relaxing with a kind of hori kotatsu style, which is the actual built into the floor table like this. So we're going to get to our ice cream here before it melts and enjoy some dessert. See you in a little bit. Alright, well, we're all finished with Yakiniku for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Feel free, please, to like and comment down below. What would you like to see next? Remember, I want to show more of the kind of rare things that maybe you won't see on YouTube. So if there's some kind of odd or interesting thing, maybe you know a little bit about Japan and you'd like to know more about, comment down below, like the video, and let me know. And if you'd like to learn more about how to become a confident English speaker, I have a free course, Power Learning. You can click right here. I'll put a button for you if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can come to EnglishAnyone.com and join. It's totally free, and it will teach you the keys to speaking confidently, and so you can get out there and start becoming a fluent speaker and traveling around and enjoy the same things I'm doing right now, and confidently. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.